Well, we're only 19 days away, hard to believe, from Election Day, but absentee voting is well underway for the second week. Long lines have been reported at several polling locations across the upstate. Fox Carolina's Carrie Weimer visited some of those polling places in Greenville County today to get a feel for those wait times and what people are saying about absentee voting in this election. She's live at Renfrew Baptist Church in Travelers Rest. Now, Carrie, I know you were out there yesterday outside, and a couple of people actually had to have EMS come help them out because they got overwhelmed with the heat.
You're absolutely right. You know, I actually went and voted yesterday in Simpsonville at the senior center there, and the heat was more than you thought. And I can say that from personal experience. Just standing out there, it got hot really quick in the afternoon, and they had to call emergency responders in twice for two different people that had a bad reaction to that heat. Thankfully, they're okay, but it is something you want to keep in mind. Now, here in Travelers Rest at the Renfrew Baptist Church, you can see behind me the line is lined up, and even though it might look like quite a bit of people, that line actually wraps outside around the building. I don't know if you can see people here through the window. I don't want to get too close to the polling booths, but definitely a lot of action. People we've talked to say they've waited for at least an hour or more, but that's relatively short compared to other places. Now, while we've been out here today, here and over at County Square in Greenville, we have seen some people leave, but the majority of people I've talked to say doesn't matter how long it takes, they'll wait to vote.
Approximately 1 hour.
That's how long Robert Simon says he stood in line to vote at County Square in Greenville this morning.
I was actually expecting to wait longer, so I was pleasantly surprised.
The South Carolina Election Commission says there have already been more absentee voters, both by mail and in person, within the first week of the 2020 general election than during the entire 2016 general election. After hearing reports of people waiting up to 4 hours in line, others like Wayne Canfield and his wife came prepared for a longer wait time, even bringing chairs to sit in.
So we thought it would be a long wait, but we've only been here about 30 minutes. And so the line is moving very well.
While at County Square in Greenville and Renfrew Baptist Church in Travelers Rest, we've watched the lines grow as the day went on. Some voters choosing to bypass the lines and drop off their absentee ballot in person.
There's been a lot of talk about the mail and everything. We just decided that, hey, we have plenty of time. We did our ballots and we just turn them in and not mail them through the postal system.
The Greenville County Elections Director says people can still request an absentee ballot online, in person, or through the mail up until Saturday, October 24th. Once the application is returned to the voting office, a ballot will be mailed out, which must be returned by mail or directly to the voting office no later than 7 p.m. on November 3rd.
This is the first time I ever voted, and I'm ecstatic.
Everybody needs to get out and vote. No matter which party you're voting for, you need to get out and cast your ballot.
Now, you have until November 2nd, which of course is the day before Election Day, to come out and absentee vote. That's the cutoff time for that. We've got all of the polling locations and all the information you need to know on our free Fox Carolina News app or online at foxcarolina.com. Now, from someone who stood in the heat in the line for almost 3 hours yesterday, a couple of tips that myself and others can give to you if you're planning on coming out and standing in these lines. You might want to bring some water, perhaps an umbrella, whether it rains or even for the sun, just to keep that heat off of you. And of course, most importantly, bring your patience. Cody, Tori.
All right, Carrie, well, thanks so much. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit.